one. And we are live. What the heck is up, Internet? I have missed you all. I've been down doing copy, down in my little copywriter cave, not coming up for air. But now we're back, and I am so happy to be bringing this to you today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Lee Rowley, and this is Lee After Dark Live. Why? Because there's more to being a business leader than just business. Dang it. One brave entrepreneur joins us each episode to eject the elevator pitch and just get real with us. Today, I would like to welcome, why did that get this turret topic thing? And we start out with that. Really? We're going to do that? Okay. So obviously, before I introduce my guest, I will say that I have no capacity to be running the banners and things like that. There's no reason at all that I should be doing this. But you let the monkey out of the cage, the monkey's going to play with the keyboard. That's just how it goes. So hopefully you can forgive a few faux pas here and there so that you can be educated and entertained by my guest today, Monte Clark. Monte, God, that was a terrible intro, but how the heck are you?
What do you mean? That was a fantastic intro, you know? I mean, this is supposed to be, this is a real show, right? Real things, not business oriented.
Well, I'm thinking terrible in the sense of like invoking terror. You know, I know when the first time we went out to Vegas, I was like, who is this terrible Herbst? And like, what did he do, man? You know, and it's like, oh, okay, not that connotation of the word terrible is like he was just kind of a crappy guy, but that he actually made people shake in their boots a little bit, and I can appreciate that.
That's right.
Yeah. So the rules of this thing are simple and pretty darn loose. You get 20 minutes, or however the heck long you want, really, to talk about anything you want on Earth except for your business.
Good. And then, I hate talking about my business.
Well, the optional part is I always give people up to 5 minutes at the end to pitch up a storm. And they really never do. I mean, every once in a while, somebody will get on there and be like, look at me and how awesome I am. But most of the time, they're just genuinely wanting to reach out and connect and be helpful to people. So the technicality of the show, if theoretically I'm giving a minute demerit every time you mention your business on the show, but one, that like almost never happens, and two, if it does, it just leads us down a rabbit hole and I say screw the rules anyway. Right? Good so point. It's a rule that isn't a rule. Very much. But just to keep us honest, I am going to start a timer here. So are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, we're rolling here. What do you want to get into for the next 20 minutes?
Well, first off, Lee, let me tell you, the one primary reason why I wanted to come on your show was anybody that can weave dirty baby diaper dumpster fire and into a single LinkedIn post is somebody that I want to hang out with. So
good. As other people say, you're my kind of scum. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
So I'm glad to be your kind of scum. Thank you very much, and thank you for agreeing to be on the show. I figured the reason you were going to tell us the reason you came on the show was because I hassled you until you. No, I'm kidding.
No, not at all. No, I've always enjoyed your stuff and getting to know you. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll be looking at the comments too here and there if I can manage to wrangle all that. The banners and everything at the same time. And before we get rolling, I want to say hello to Andrew. Andrew, what's going on? He's ready for brilliance, so get to it. Yeah, I know. I always have to take the long way around Jericho. That's just how it goes. Okay. Adam, what's going on? It's Bowtie Guy. Monte Clark. Hey, it's good to see you here. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you need a producer. I know that, but nobody can put up with me. That's the problem. I send everybody running, man. They're just like, man, this Lee, we can't deal with him. Sorry. You're welcome to take a crack at it if you want, but it's like I'll give you like 6 minutes before you go running for the hills.
Yeah,
Like I can't do it. La 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 la. All right. Enough of that. What are we talking about?
You know, today I figured since I can't talk about my business, which is what I always do, but which is why I hate it, I figured I'd talk about my next favorite topic, which always involves mindset. You know, specifically for that, I wore my wonderful Bob Ross shirt here for you.
Happy little.
Because Bob was the ultimate mindset guy. He was either that or he was an axe murderer. But I think he was a pretty good mindset guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was always into happy trees, and he was always positive. You know, so with everything that's going on in the world today and the shape that we're in, and I just thought, you know, let's start there and let's just be honest and real about, excuse me, about where we are as people, right? Because, and I figured I'd walk you through a little bit of my background, you know, and how I came to be into LinkedIn and everything that I'm doing. So, you know, if you notice on not only LinkedIn, but almost all of social media, everybody seems to put their best foot forward, right? That put on their best face, and you'd swear everybody was rich. Their home lives were perfect.
Oh yeah,
they've got the perfect family. They're all super successful and just rolling in it, you know. Sorry, Lee.
Yeah,
that's not. You know, it's not typically how it is. I mean, I think most people really struggle with mindset on an ongoing basis. And so I thought I'd share a little bit of my story and how I struggled with mindset for quite some time. Hopefully it won't be too boring. But back in 2007, I owned a commercial real estate company in Kansas City. I had a commercial real estate, 2 land developments that I was doing, totaled of you know, 60, 70 different lots that I had built out for a neighborhood. I owned apartments, 4 fourplexes, a duplex. I was married, had 2 kids. And it seemed like everything was going really well. You know, I had business going. I also had a marketing company at the time. Marketing was my background, and it felt good. But while it felt good at the time, there was you never know when you're going to run into difficulty, right? And so in 2007, I ran into major difficulty. I had my apartments broken into, the copper stripped out of all of the buildings, which voided the leases of every of every tenant that I had. In my commercial real estate business, we had the head of our property management. After 2 years of struggling in the business and kind of hemorrhaging cash out of the business, we hit our first successful month. That was the same month that our successful department that created the revenue, the head of that department left, taking our clients to another company. My land developments, I had a partner on those, and they had put together a contract with one of the property owners that purchased a lot, but these were out in the country, so they were all, it was on a gravel road that we were going to do chip and seal, which is a type of pavement.
Gotcha.
But had put a contract together with one of the homeowners that weren't building a home yet, and they wanted the property chip and sealed by a certain time. Well, when we went to go do that, the chip and seal company denied the request because there weren't enough homes built on the property at the time. So when you roll big, heavy trucks on it, it'd break it all up. So that landed us into a lawsuit, same time, same year. And so this whole business and all my investments and everything that I had been working towards and building up was like a house of cards that was all of a sudden now just crumbling to the ground. And so in 2007, I filed for bankruptcy. After that, a couple of years later, wound up, wife wound up into an affair, difficult time with my family, stuff like that. And a couple of years later, wound up into a divorce.
Mm.
So here I am, within a short period of time, good business, well on the way of getting myself set financially where I wanted to be. Family looks good. Everything's supposedly going my way. And the next day, boom. It's just kind of tragedy after tragedy. All things that you look back at and you say, I could have done something about that. I could have controlled that. I could have made that go differently. Mm-hmm. But at the moment when you're in it, sometimes these things, you just can't control. You can't control somebody breaking into your apartment and stuff like that.
Right.
So
right.
What do you do with that, right? One, as everybody does or is going to be prone to doing, you're gonna suffer. It's just, just mentally you're gonna suffer, yeah. Right? But I had a good friend that I started talking with a year ago, almost 2 years ago now. I'll fast forward all that. I kind of worked through that. It took years after 2007, just struggle. I got into I became the VP of marketing for a local company here in Kansas City. Worked that for about 5 years, determined, okay, I'm not really necessarily doing what I want to be doing. I'm going to leave that and I'm going to start back on my own. Started working with another business partner or former business partner, and their business was going really well until it ran into some difficult times from a contract standpoint with a big company that they were working with. And so, boom, again, says, well, I'll have enough money to pay for this month, but then it'll be that'll be the end of it. So, right. You can fall into these things. You can just get into these unexpected situations that just take you down. So again, about 2 years ago, I had a good friend, and he's a musician, Chad Borkman. I don't know if you've met him on LinkedIn or not. Yes. So Chad's a great guy. And we started talking about mindset. And, the way I was raised, I'm a PK, which is pastor's kid, and growing up as a pastor's kid, you really, pastors don't make a lot of money. I mean, you don't get into that to, become wealthy, right?
Right, exactly.
So I realized that in starting to talk with Chad and starting to really look at my mindset, that one of the primary things that I deal with is a mindset of scarcity, right?
Right.
And, from my parents, their big thing was, they got to save. How they were going to make money and how they were going to get ahead is they were going to save. It wasn't get more or anything like that, or that it was even more to be achieved. It was, we're in this ministry for this purpose. It's not financially. So anything that we have to save it and hold on to it as tightly as we possibly can. Well, I carried that all the way throughout, even when I was in my business and even when I was, doing the, had my apartments and all that stuff that I just talked about. I still carried this root of this mindset of scarcity that I almost I almost didn't think that it would work. Self-willed it, if you would, that it's going to fail, and it absolutely did. And so after you go through some of these things, it was at one point when I started talking to Chad, I said, I'm not going to be this way anymore. I am going to shift this mindset, and I want to be positive on a daily basis. How do I do it? Right? So I decided I'm just going to decide to do it. And then I sought out help, and Chad was one of those people that was of great help to me.
Awesome.
But basically what we started doing is every single day, the minute my eyes open in the morning from bed, I have to look at the blessings that I have. I have to plan on and prepare for all the good things that are going to be coming my way today. And that even through any of the difficult things that can and absolutely will happen, just because you have a positive mindset or a mindset of abundance does not mean that you automatically get abundance. And it also doesn't mean that everything just goes right all the time. What it does mean is that you respond to it differently. And I think the reason why I threw on this shirt today is because no mistakes, just happy accidents, right?
Mm-hmm. That's really funny that you bring that up, okay? Because they've got the official Bob Ross refrigerator magnet with the exact same saying. Except, look, you can't see the saying because it's green.
Yeah.
And so I think instead you're seeing like my face or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's awesome.
That it's in his hair.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You talk about that shift, and I think, and tell me if I'm talking out my rear here, but Bob Ross was a military guy.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it. He said, after he got out of the military, he never wanted to yell at anybody again. Yeah. And so, like, that was a complete shift from what he had been ingrained into him, had programmed into him.
Yeah, he was really an amazing individual, and I need to really study up more on him, but and an unbelievable talent, obviously he brought the talent with it, but I think what people were drawn to was his personality and just how, soft and positive he really was. Mm-hmm. But, to the point, he made the choice too, right? I don't ever want to yell at anybody. I want to encourage. I want to bless people, help people. And so when I started on LinkedIn, that was really kind of the attitude that I took. I wanted to figure out the platform, and I also wanted to figure out how to, really invest into people. Work with them on content and stuff like that, and just let them experience themselves, really, and how you develop your personality and who you are online. So it's really been rewarding and enriching, and and I just encourage everybody, even though it's LinkedIn, it's social media, whatever it is, be yourself. Personal brand is about being you, and loving what you do, loving who you do it with, and adding value to anybody that you possibly can at all times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being funny. That's what I like about all your content and stuff. Whenever I get to read it, we need to laugh.
Well, I totally agree with that, and that's. I think maybe finding out where your unique value is an intersection of several things. For me, there are a bazillion copywriters in the world. We're like frigging cockroaches. Nuclear holocaust, there still will be copywriters to write about it and sell you survival gear. But there aren't that many that care about making you laugh. And that I don't want to just say, hey, look at me, I'm a great copywriter. I'm going to try to maybe give you a little break in your day, give you a chuckle, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be in a little better mood and be more productive or something. Or you'll just dive into a rabbit hole with my posts and you'll lose the entire morning, which is fine too.
There's just so much power in that, Lee, for people to just have that little moment of humor, lighten it up. I love LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn every day. That's kind of my platform, if you would.
Yeah.
But man, it's, and it is what it is. It's a business platform. So it's business people working with business people.
Mm.
But, you still have to be, real about life, on the platform and how you're presenting things. And every time I come across something that's funny, I just want to share that, because it's almost a lost art, if you would, where, a lot of other platforms, you can get a lot of that out there. But, and I know, a lot of people think that LinkedIn it's business only, get that tie stitched up as tight as you can.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That's what I love about it. Yeah, I spent a year mucking around over on Instagram, trying to make a name for myself in that wasteland. Yeah. It's just not. It doesn't matter what you do over there. It's like you're not going to get attention unless you have double D's, or weed porn. I mean, like, if you got either one of those things going for you, you're gold. Otherwise, we're not paying. We don't care what happens to you. Exactly. Facebook, I don't know. It's just I get tired of hearing about people talk about their political opinions and what they had for dinner and what their cute thing their cat did. Shut up, I don't care. LinkedIn is the place where people like you and I, who actually have a sense of humor, can shine and stand out and make everybody go, "What the? What's going on over?" It's fun because there is so much dry out there, and so the people who appreciate it gravitate and support in a way that they don't want other platforms right now.
No doubt about it. I honestly feel that it's the most social of all the social platforms.
Absolutely.
There's no better platform where you can truly develop relationships like this, to where you can be friends with somebody up in Cowtown. I just learned from you this morning.
Cowtown. Yep.
And, being down in Kansas City, I've worked with people in South Africa, the UK, just Ukraine, all over the world. And it's a tremendous platform, but we do need more humor.
Absolutely, we do. It's just absolutely crucial. I'm sorry.
By the way, I've added goat boobs to my regular conversation.
To the lexicon? Yeah. It's just why not? I mean, right. Straight up profanities. I mean, profanity's fine and all, but it's just there. It's like we've all heard it a million times. It's not a shock anymore. You hear goat boobs and you're like, I'm a hooey woody. Yeah, well.
Did you grow up at home with your parents saying goat boobs, or was that just your own invention?
No, that wasn't on their radar. I didn't even grow up with a goat. But I was a frequently unsupervised only child in rural Ohio in the 1980s. So, like, that the rest just pretty much just follows itself.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to be sure to say, if I can do this correctly, I want to say I didn't know, but I hope I'm pronouncing David. If I'm pronouncing your name right incorrectly, I totally apologize. Please forgive me. Thank you for hanging out with us today on the After Dark Live. Adam has a question I have not read yet. People do. Oh, I thought I saw a question mark. People do business with people. Be a person first. Humor is part of that. Yes, it is. I don't know why I thought I saw a question mark, but it's Friday. I am so glad it's Friday too. You know what? Oh. I hope you're not one of these people who go like, "Oh, you shouldn't be happy about Fridays because if you live your dreams, you shouldn't think the weekend's any." But shut up. It's been a long week. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I don't care whether you think I should or not. So, people,
That's exactly
I
right.
hate it when people tell me that. Yeah, go ruin your own weekend.
Weekends are supposed to be fun. They're not as fun as much anymore with all this
Darn.
garbage going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of invented fun these days. We're like, we can't really go anywhere. So what,
How many games of Scrabble can we play this weekend?
Well, we've got we do have the Ducket Bucket.
I wonder how many. You're going to have to look into what the score for Goat Boobs is going to be.
We'll see. We will see. This is a carryover from the previous show. I've got all these ducks here, and nice. we just say that you are in total control of what you give a duck about. And if you want to add your duck to the Ducket Bucket, you do it. If you don't give a duck, then sorry. So,
that's great.
Yeah, well, I dragged this shtick out way too long. We've blown way past the 20 minutes thing, so I'm going to be a man of my word here and give you up to 5 minutes. I know you don't really want to, but like if you'd like to tell people how to get in contact with you, what you got going on business-wise, the floor is yours.
Well, sure. If I must, if you force me into it, then yeah. So, okay. Well, I'm not a huge Facebook fan. But I do have a Facebook group. Unfortunately, LinkedIn is not, needs to really get up to speed with groups. But you can, if you're interested, if you're an entrepreneur, small business person, you're in business development, and you want to know more about marketing and sales and be part of a group where we help each other with marketing and sales and learn, I have a group on Facebook called Relevant Marketing and Sales Accelerator. It's a private group, but it's free. Be happy to have you join me on that. And you can message me on LinkedIn if you'd like to be a part of it. I do have a couple of different classes that I run too. I have a master class on LinkedIn and how to not only create your personal brand, but actually do business on LinkedIn. I think a lot of people use LinkedIn, but don't know how to get business from it. So I teach that. It's a 6-week course that I take 5 people through at a time. And if you'd like information about that, just message me on LinkedIn as well. And I'm also a fractional CMO for companies, both on the corporate side and for the individual. And I do that through what I call a mastermind group, where we create strategies, marketing strategies for individuals and companies, and help you grow your businesses. So a plethora of options available for anybody that's wanting to grow a business.
A plethora indeed. So we've got your main website here, and any other links, any other links or anything you want to give me, we'll put in the comments for the replay for people who are watching that. Cool?
Cool.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. And I really appreciate you sharing some mindset insights with us. And do you have any parting thoughts on that, as far as what people can do right now to just make a quick show?
Yes,
a quick win, if you will.
Yeah, right now, stop. Put aside all of the pressures, all of the negativity or whatever that's in your mind right now. Just stop and just spend the next 10 minutes thinking about what is a blessing in your life right now, today. It can be it, and if you have to go back to the absolute very basics of I have shelter, I have food, I am in a position to where I can go from here. It's, just stop and write them out. Just write out some blessings and just focus on those today, right? Okay. And then anytime you find yourself in a position to where what we call stinking thinking, look down at your blessing sheet. And all day, as you're going throughout this day, be thinking on them and then add to them anything that comes up. And then just repeat that every single day.
Awesome. Fantastic advice. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for bringing me on the show.
Well, thank you, Monte. Now, we are out of time, but if you found Lee After Dark more entertaining and relevant than most of the Drac out there, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, all right? Gosh, we've got like 37 subscribers. Come on, people. Make me feel like I'm talking to somebody here. And, where's the right banner? If you'd like to be a guest on Lee After Dark Live, or you'd like to throw somebody else under the bus without telling them about it, that's cool too. You can sign them or you up at guest.leeafterdark.com. That's it. It's been a while since I've done this, but that's all right. All right. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this episode. Until next time, this is Lee Rowley with my good friend Monte Clark. Be present, be well, and namaste out of my inbox.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.